Good afternoon. I'm A. Allen, and you are with Streetwise Live for the next 25 minutes. You are on CAN TV 21. We are streaming live, cantv.org/hotline. I'm here with our CEO of Streetwise, Judy Youngquest, and we're here to discuss the 20 most inspiring Chicagoans. Sorry about that. 20 most inspiring Chicagoans. Okay, and this is the new issue that's out August 26th. It goes to September the 1st. And it's a very good issue. And I like people to inspire me, you know. And then we're talking about the 20th, what we feel Streetwise is the most inspiring Chicagoans, okay? And when this subject first came up 20 years ago, I thought about Judy Youngquest. I say, I nominate you. Judy say, Judy say I can't do that. But I do think you are very inspiring. And you've been like the leader of this project with Streetwise for the 2 years that we've been had it.
Well, and part of why we started this actually, the last 2 years is because you all, as vendors, you talk about this all the time, Alan, that you're inspired by your customers. You're inspired by the people that you meet. You're inspired by their stories and what they're doing. And the community is also inspired by what the vendors are doing, taking a hand up, not a hand out, and actually working, being entrepreneurs. So we thought as a way to give back to all of our customers and the city that's been so supportive that we would put out a call for nominations for the 20 most inspiring. So we accepted nominations for about 2 months, and then there was a selection committee that came together and reviewed hundreds of nominations and read everyone's stories and dug a little bit deeper and talked to the people who nominated them in some cases, and really narrowed it down to this list that we have here today, which are the 20 most inspiring for 2019.
And this is the second year.
This is the second year.
So how do a person become to nominate a person? I mean, is there any qualifications that you have to have?
Not to nominate someone, but when we looked at who were the 20 most inspiring, the overarching criteria was what are they doing to make a positive impact in our community? And that positive impact can be on an individual level, it can be on a small group level, or it could be on a global level. As long as that there is some impact and improvement to the lives of Chicagoans, that's what got you on the list. And I would say it's a very impressive list, as our first year nominees were.
And it's all positive.
It's all positive.
It's all positive.
There's no bad news in
no
here.
No bad news. You know, and that's the reason why I really like the gala. The gala was very great last year.
Sure.
And then we have a pre-gala.
We have an honorary reception where they all get together and get to meet each other and network and learn about each other and tell their stories.
And tell their stories. Mm-hmm. That was a big highlight for me because I was like a greeter at the door, and you know, of course, me, I got to get everybody's autograph.
Right.
You know, and I got to shake hands.
We'll
with
work
everybody.
that again.
Yeah, and so you know, it was very inspiring to meet these people and to listen to their stories and to read the stories in the magazine, in the street magazine, but to actually meet the people in person. And then to hear them tell their own stories is very impressive, and I was very delighted to be there.
Well, and it was interesting because the reason why so many of them are being honored is because of the great work they're doing, and they're so humbled.
Yeah, they are.
They're very humbled by the honor, which is very, very inspiring and humbling for us.
Yes, it is. You know, well, getting into the magazine with the 20 most inspiring, what you think about Jamila Woods?
Oh, I think about her.
Yeah, R&B singer.
Well, not only is she not even up and coming, she's there and going.
Okay.
R&B singer. She's also an advocate and an activist in the African American community. She went on tour, her first tour, and when she came back, she was inspired to write a second album that was really featuring voices from the African American community. So Erykah Badu, Gwendolyn Freeman, right?
Right.
Oops, are you zooming in?
Yeah, I can zoom in.
Toni Morrison, who sadly we just lost. But not only is she a singer and an activist, but she also she's a poet. She's a published poet, and she also works with young children. She's an artistic director with a group that helps young children develop their creativity. So she's really highlighting voices, creativity, and impacting culture here in Chicago.
That's kind of unique because I don't think last year we had a singer or a poet. But nevertheless, we have a wide range of talent, of people that are trying to do something positive for Chicagoans. What about Rendell Solomon?
So, do you want to find Rendell's picture?
Yeah, I can find Rendell.
So, Rendell, actually, he grew up on the west side in a neighborhood that many of you will know called K-Town. He used education, listened to his mother, used education as a way up and out to a better situation. He works at an asset management company, so he's in investing. And one of the things that he had done is he started this organization called One Stock, One Future. And this really, the goal is to turn 1 million youth into investors, company shareholders in public companies. So the children or the youth who go through this program go through some education and training, and when they're done, they get one share of stock in a public company that's theirs to manage, to watch grow, to your point, as we were talking about this earlier, or to sell. But the idea is to really begin for these youth to develop some intergenerational wealth.
Get their foot wet.
Get their foot wet. Not feet. Foot.
Get one foot in the door and the rest will follow, right?
That's right.
So, yeah, he's doing some great things. I really appreciate all these.
Well, and not only for youth, but actually 2 years ago, he founded the League of Superwomen, which is a networking and panel series that really highlights, engages, and brings women entrepreneurs together.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's great.
So he's all about helping people make money.
Okay.
Helping people help themselves make money. Have you ever heard of something like that before?
Oh, yeah, that's what Streetwise is all about, people helping people to help themselves. Okay, our next nominee is Pat
Whoops.
Angelo.
Well, but you have Tracy Bame on here, who is also pretty inspiring as the publisher of a little newspaper you might have heard of called the Chicago Reader.
Chicago Reader.
She's also the co-founder of another publication you might have heard of, the Windy City Times.
Oh, yeah.
She's the author of a number of books about the LGBT community. She's a huge activist in that community, and she's also in our space.
Okay. Our space.
Printing,
Print.
publication, media.
Okay, our space.
The magazine.
The magazine. Yeah, our space. She have 12 books, huh?
12 books?
Yeah, she's an author.
My goodness. All right, this is who you were aiming for, right?
Yeah,
Dr.
Dr.
Pat Angelo. I like to call him periodontist by day, angel by night.
Angel of Lower
He's actually the angel, also known as the angel of Lower Wacker Drive. For over 20 years, he has been bringing food and clothing, blankets, gift certificates to the folks who reside on Lower Wacker Drive and also on Upper Wacker Drive and along Michigan.
The homeless people.
The homeless people. And so he would do this 7 days a week, 365 days a year, which gets to be a little tough. So he's also helped build a network of volunteers to make sure that that 7 days a week, 365 days a year, the homeless who live in that area have some of the most basic things that they need just to make it through the night. Gift cards to McDonald's, Gatorade,
That is amazing.
coffee.
That is amazing. Speaking of statistics, what about this guy, Michael? I like Michael, he's from the Argyle Garden area, and he's used to people coming up in broken homes,
So Michael Earhart is the CEO of All Kids Foundation and the Taste for the Homeless. Those are his primary activities. But what he does, so those are events, and that he puts on for the community. But what he does every day is serve about 500 meals to the homeless all over the city.
500 meals a day?
Yeah.
Man, that's a lot. That's like 3,500 in a week.
Yeah, I mean, that's thousands in a year.
Yeah, 182,000 per year. Man, that's a lot to say. He pushes himself to do that.
He really does, but that also speaks to how great the need is. That there are only 500 people a day that he's able to reach,
Only.
right?
Yeah. So it's much more out there.
So another one
And
of our...
then he do mascots, right? Mascots.
Yep, he also has a custom mascot company. So he provides mascots to different groups, school groups, and events throughout the city,
Okay.
which is also he brings to some of these other events that he does. But we were talking about the need. We were talking about the need that there is for homeless to be fed, and Dr. Pat Angelo is doing that. Michael Earhart is doing that. I'm going to switch out your graphic here so we can meet J.D. Miller, who is another one of our honorees. If you want to zoom down so
Okay.
folks can see his face. J.D. actually saw a need at his church for people who were in need, and
He's a
so
pastor.
he's not a pastor. He's actually a finance guy at a company. This is what he does in his spare time as a volunteer with his
Okay.
church. So he was at Lincoln Park Church, saw a need for the homeless to be fed, and sort of organized volunteers and resources into something that became now Care for Friends. And they feed 12,000 homeless people a year.
Wow. That's a lot.
It's a lot of people, but not only do they feed them, because you don't always just need food, but they do link to places like Streetwise, so people can come and start to, get back on their feet and re-engage with community. They also work with housing referral resources, so they're trying to get people into shelters or SROs or other more stable housing, as well as referring them for some of the basic needs. So it's someone else kind of in a space that we orbit, doing good in Chicago for some of the most vulnerable.
Man, this is like a good resource guide. We had a nonprofit resource guide, and this is like the people behind the nonprofit.
Right?
This is like the people behind the nonprofit. So this is good to have. So I encourage everybody to go out and get one of these Streetwise 20 most inspiring Chicagoans, so you can read it for yourself.
Right.
Know? And then you can also get to know a vendor, your local vendor, and then if you're interested, you can become a vendor yourself. We have orientation at Streetwise, 4554 North Broadway, and there's a lot going on that you may not know about. So we want to show you that it's immediate employment. You get immediate income. Other employment opportunities are available. You recover your self-esteem. You get back your life, okay? You have social services available, and orientations every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 o'clock. And Streetwise is 4554 North Broadway. Yeah, come and let us get your wheels started. We'll get your wheels started with magazines, 15 free magazines on the first day, brunch and coffee, computer and internet access, telephone usage, license to sell the magazines, identification picture upon qualification. We have clothing, we have hygiene kits. Come by the office and help yourself to all of that. And become a vendor.
Well-
And become part of a Streetwise family.
Well, I was just going to say that all of these things entitles you to sit at the kitchen table or to sit in the circle and have some of these wonderful conversations that we have about people who are inspiring or ways to make the city a better place, ways to help each other.
Yeah.
It also breaks some of the isolation. And so, when you come to the house, the last house on the block,
The last house on the block. That's in my case.
there's people there that are waiting to see you, that care about you, that want to make sure that you're doing well, and you in turn want to make sure they're doing well. And so that's, a piece that we can't just stick on a bullet point on a paper because it just doesn't make it come to life.
Yes, and then it's like becoming a part of a family. And these people that's in the magazine, they are creating family environments. And we do have a family environment, so you can come and be a part of a family environment. And we'll get your wheels rolling with 15 free papers, a location, and an ID badge, and you're welcome to have something to eat while you're there, or coffee, or use the internet, or use the telephone. But come.
Or you have it on that bullet point or on your sheet as well. We do have an employment specialist who can help with getting you ready to find a traditional job, paycheck,
Yes.
with help with resumes, building online profiles, searching for jobs, filling out applications. So we do it all.
Do it all. And then not only that, but you'll get a chance, once you become a vendor, to be able to meet people that you normally wouldn't meet, because you'll be out selling the paper, which is actually selling yourself, and you'll be rubbing shoulders with people you normally wouldn't meet, okay? So that's a good thing about
It is a good thing, and I was thinking about, all these people are having a positive impact in the city, and vendors being inspired to come in and become vendor, or new people becoming vendors. I'm looking down at this sheet right here, and this person's been doing a lot
Oh, yeah.
to make the city a better place, huh?
Yeah.
100+ days.
Yeah, Lori Lightfoot.
Honorable Lori Lightfoot,
Honorable.
the new mayor of the city, who really is. Well, you could talk about her a little bit. She was nominated by a number of people. You were one of them.
Yeah, I was one of them. I think she's very inspiring, because, she shows a lot in what she's doing, because, she's just a tremendous person, to me. But she bring a lot to the table, not only being the first black mayor, but openly, saying that she's gay, or that she like women, and it's very like integrating for the city. She bring a lot to the table, a lot of diversity. In my opinion, she bring a lot of diversity, whereas a lot of people can look to her and feel like they represent it, and look to her for leadership. She bring a lot of innovation to the mayor's office, and I'm looking forward to maybe seeing her at the gala. I hope she come.
Well, we'll see.
I want to meet everybody and get everybody autograph in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's a tradition that I normally do.
That is right.
So we have a lot of other interesting people in the book. Liz Dozer. Did we talk about Liz Dozer?
We did not. Do you want to put her up?
Yeah, Liz Dozer. Okay, I went to Finger Night School. And she was the principal at Finger High
Well, not
School.
while you were there.
Not while I was there, because if I had saw her, I would know my principal. But I never was under her leadership. But nevertheless, she turned the school around.
She did. So she was a teacher and then became a principal at Fenger during the time when Fenger was really struggling. It was one of the very struggling schools here in the city. And she started using principles of restorative justice, basic concepts of, respect, focusing on the whole child, not just their academics and behavior, but also looking at health, safety, and just other things that make children successful in schools and help turn that school around. But she didn't stop there.
Okay.
Once she left Fenger, she founded and is currently the CEO of an organization called Chicago Beyond, which is an impact investment company. She's one of a couple impact investors on this, on the 20 most inspiring this year. They have raised and invested more than $30 million in 14 different local nonprofit organizations that really help youth meet their fullest potential. So again, she puts her money where her mouth is. She puts her money where she knows that success happens, and that's around education, youth safety, health, and wellness. And all of those things need to be present for kids to reach their full potential.
Yeah, as a community.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way she worked with the community too. $30 million is not no chump change.
It sure is not chump change. And we have a couple other honorees this year who are also in the investment space. One is, we can find her, Jessica Drosjagen.
Jessica?
Yeah, she should just be right here. Here we go. Jessica is the CEO of Impact Engine, and what they do is raise money for social impact organizations. So they find entrepreneurs.
Okay.
We know some entrepreneurs,
Yeah, we do.
but entrepreneurs who have the potential to do social good. So it's like social enterprises. It's a way that businesses can do good things but also make money to invest back into their organization. And so she runs this organization that helps bring money, helps entrepreneurs scale up and make a bigger social impact.
No, that's wonderful because you know every Streetwise vendor is an entrepreneur. They are self-employed and they are officially private contractors. Okay, because what we do is buy the papers and we sell them, you know, in order to survive. So we are entrepreneurs. So she's very interesting. And
Sure.
I'm looking forward to meeting her. I'm really looking forward to meeting her.
Well, we have another entrepreneur social impact investor in our 20 most, and that's Amy Francetic. And Amy is the CEO of the Energize Fund, and I think there's another part, the Energize Ventures. And she's been in this space for 20 years, which is pretty incredible. They raise money to, oh, sure. Here you go. Oops, there we go.
Okay.
They raise money to invest in technology solutions that impact clean energy, that is affordable, reliable, and safe and
Yes.
secure. And so, you know, there's a lot of discussion about climate and things that are happening in the world. There's a lot more movement now around solar energy, wind energy, renewable energies, and Amy's been in this space for about 20 years, fighting the good fight towards a clean environment
With the technology.
and using technology.
And then you were saying you was proud of her as being a woman because of the math and tech.
Well, she definitely is in the, you know, the STEM areas, the
STEM.
science, technology, engineering, and math area, and has been for a long time. So she's pioneering in being, you know, there's thankfully more women in this space now, but that's been growing. And she's a pioneer in raising money in this space and really investing in companies and organizations that will keep our planet going strong for even your little ones.
Exactly. And then, you know, I was thinking about the wide range of people that we have. Okay, this is technology. And then let's go to
Candace?
Yeah, Candace.
Candace is the founder of an organization called the Blue Hat Foundation.
Yeah, blue hat, black tie.
Blue Hat.
Black tie. Yeah, I mean, that's
Oh, right. That's another event that they do at churches. Absolutely.
On site.
So Candace was diagnosed with colon cancer. If you'll recall, one of our honorees last year, Dr. Andrew Albert,
Yeah, I
was a
remember.
tireless advocate for colon cancer.
Yes.
Candace is also a tireless advocate for to prevent colon cancer, not for colon cancer.
Right, to prevent.
She was diagnosed with colon cancer and ended up becoming homeless with her
Yeah.
5 children,
Okay.
living on the street while trying to battle this very preventable disease. Thankfully, she made it
Yes.
and took that experience. She didn't take that experience to become bitter. She took that experience to help others. So she started this Blue Hat Foundation that encourages people I think they're at 15 different churches now, to wear blue hats on particular Sundays. And on those Sundays, there's education sessions, there's colon cancer screening, and really just raising awareness for those for something that we should all be doing, something very preventable.
Yeah, I remember Dr. Andrew. He rode the bike with the T-shirt on the back of it.
He did.
Colon.
Yep.
Yeah, and so he was a really nice guy to meet.
Right.
too. Yeah, I really enjoyed meeting.
But again, someone who's we've seen this in our honorees in the past, is that someone who's taken a very devastating health issue, either personally experienced or personally witnessed, and instead of, again, spinning their thumbs and just woe is me, they really just do everything they can to give back and help others.
Yeah, that's a wonderful thing. That's a wonderful thing. That's a really wonderful thing. Let's see, who else we have?
Well, we probably only have time to talk about one more, or maybe we just summarize the whole class. You know, it's a group of 20 of our fellow Chicagoans who wake up every day and through their job or through their passion, or just being inspired and compassionate for the plight of other people, spend their days giving back.
Yeah, I think life is all about people helping people. You
Yeah.
know? Especially people helping people to help themselves. I think that's what Streetwise is all about. People helping people to help themselves. When a person see you trying to help yourself, yeah, they'll buy paper. You know, they'll buy paper, or they may just give you some money just to help you out. But it's basically because you're trying to do something for yourself. You know that people help you. People don't mind helping people that help themselves.
Well, that's that's the Chicago story that doesn't get told.
That's it. That's
So if you
all.
want the positive news, check out the 20 most inspiring.
Streetwise.
Streetwise.
Find your local vendor, and we'll be back same time, same place next week.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. Thank you so much, Judy. I really appreciate you. I feel comfortable with you on the show.